Let's go through that pronation sequence again. So first, hold your violin with your right hand and give me your left arm. Okay, and hang. Good release. And you can feel how soft your elbow feels, and there's no tension here, no tension around your elbow, and there's a natural curve of the wrist. Okay, so neither forward nor actively pushing backwards, just gentle and movable. You always want your wrist that way as much as possible. Okay, and then when you want to get your little finger closer to the fingerboard, rather than torquing and turning, trying to turn this part of your arm, which does not turn, we saw that on the skeleton, instead you relax this part of your hand forward and the first finger and the thumb backwards, because the radius does turn. Remember the skeleton arm? The radius turns backwards and this part of the hand softens forward. Put your violin up and we can do this on the violin. So first have the relaxed position, which is completely antithetical to violin playing because the fingers are at a right angle to the string. But if you turn towards the camera, look at this beautiful alignment. You've got this line from here to her elbow. And if you touch here, it's completely soft. So this is great. Do the wrong thing. So torque forward and put your fingers on the string. And you can immediately feel some sort of irritation here. If you feel yourself, there's a little bunching, right? And you can see the tension in the back. And notice, if you look in the mirror, you can see this on your own arm if this is happening. This line is a little crooked. And so that means that the signals are not going to go through the wrist properly. Okay, so now relax to the perpendicular position. And now with your right hand, mush your knuckles forward and let your thumb fall back. Nice. Good. And you remember, if you really iron your knuckles, your fingers will go all the way up in the air. Okay. And do this entirely with your right hand so that there's no turn here. This feels soft, so that's good. And do that a few times. Okay, and now relax your fingers and put them on the string. So the problem with this is all looking good. She's got her alignment. This is soft, but her fingers are not quite pronated enough. So what could you do? You could slide each of them.
Half an inch.
That's right, exactly. And now if you see this left hand, you can see that the fingers are really on this pronation angle to the strings. And when she needs to shift, it's very easy for her to go up. When she needs to do double stops, it's very easy for her fingers to slide apart because this angle is much easier to move the fingers than this. If I stretch as far as I can with that square position, that's it. If I pronate, look how much farther I can go. The flesh between the fingers when they are angled like this is much softer than this way.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel as good.
Yeah, well, that's what everybody says when it's square. It just doesn't feel good, especially once you're used to this. Okay, so now you can do exercises to encourage this feeling of leaning on the inside of the fingers. Take a finger and run it along the side of the neck. So not on the string at all, but on the side of the neck. That's right. That's right. Now do the third finger. You don't have to leave the fourth finger down. Just put the third finger on the side. That's right. So see how she's encouraging this stretchiness. This is what will give her hand even more ease in creating half steps and whole steps. So this little exercise, not even on top, but on the side of the fingerboard. Now do it on two strings, on top of the fingerboard, but on two strings. And see, by doing that, she's encouraging the correct motion and she's strengthening the muscles on the inside of the finger at the same time as she's relaxing and releasing between the fingers. Good. And so then this is ideal once she has all of this set up like this. It's very easy for her to do the octave frame. She can reach the fourth finger, and she can do octaves very comfortably. This is still soft. If you look at her wrist, it's still nicely in line. And she did all this by encouraging that softness in the knuckles and inside the hand itself. So once you have this position where your fingernails are facing you, you can practice leaning on the insides of your fingers, either by sliding up and down like this, or even putting the finger on the outside of the fingerboard. And when you do this, lean against the fingerboard and you will stretch this out, and you will gradually be able to widen the spaces between your fingers. This is infinitely more stretchy than trying to do something like this with that square position. So this way you can slide almost infinitum. So that's what you're developing, especially if you have small hands. You want to be able to get these fingers to move apart. Then once you've done all of this sliding, you can practice lifting and keeping the space and going down and keeping them together.